Hello, everybody. Oh, this is super fun. I love a Facebook Live with Tique. It's always such a good time and such a pleasure. But I'm like, seriously, we are so excited for this Facebook Live. The whole team at Travefy, it's not just me, like the whole team at Travefy behind the scenes are very excited about this. But I'm excited to be here today with Jen and Robin from Tique, and not only on just this day of September 24th, but it's also your birthday. So congratulations, Tique. Another birthday.
Another year. It's crazy how fast they go.
I know. Well, I always like to say because I really connected with both of you in 2020 when it was kind of just, I mean, it had already started, but so that's why I always think of, just like the really good, the 2020 really business that everyone needed. And now here you are 4 years later. And now here we are with this really exciting thing that I know you're going to be showing too, but
Yes.
it's really, really exciting. But before, just for those unfamiliar with Tique, can you just explain a little bit more of what you do and what you've been doing for the past 4 years?
Yeah, it's been a crazy 4 years. It's so exciting. Thank you for everybody who's like virtually celebrating with us today. We've definitely felt the love all over the internet, all over the world. So we're Tique. I'm Robin. Jen is with me as well, of course. And it's funny because every time people are like, well, what do you do? And I'm always like, we do a little bit of everything, but everything we do revolves around travel advisors. So Jen and I used to be in travel, and we saw just this need to really pour into the advising community. And one of the ways we did that was branding. So we offer branding and some design services for travel advisors. We host a community called Niche to connect like-minded advisors. But I would say arguably probably the thing we've always been known most for is our systems template. So we have a collection of templates called our client communication templates. And these have taken a variety of faces and names over the years. Like they've gone from, I don't even know what we first called them, honestly, anymore. But they are a collection of emails and forms and automations or task lists for advisors who are looking to really streamline their client experience for their booking process. So it's really exciting because now that we offer them for Travefy, which we haven't been able to do or we haven't done previously. And I was telling Jen, it's so funny that we're launching this because honestly, like pre-Tique, when we were in the travel industry, like we were Travefy, like we were all in on Travefy and the itinerary creation. That's what Jen built her whole business on. So it feels very full circle to be like, we started our business based around Travefy to now grow a travel agency. Jen sold the travel agency, started Tique. And now it's like, we're coming back to our roots a little bit and partnering with y'all to bring this really amazing product, which Jen is going to show you guys and share a little bit more. But yeah. Question.
No, that's perfect. I ditto everything you're saying about the full circle moment because in 2015, I signed up for a subscription of Travefy. And honestly, this was before it was just for travel advisors. And we have a podcast as well called Tique Talks. And we had David Chait on there to talk about Travefy, the future of Travefy, the vision. But I also shared with him like the foundational premise of Explorator when we did have the travel agency was because we felt like there was a need for more experiential travel in the world. And we wanted to help people that maybe didn't have the ability to work with what I only knew as like a luxury travel advisor at the time. Now we know that there are travel advisors that service all areas of the industry. And that's why we love Travefy. One, it's a really economical price point. So even if someone is starting out in their business and they are not, at the point where they're selling, and this is just a buzzword at this point, but like quote unquote luxury, you can still really make a beautiful luxury experience for all of the clients. And that is what travel advisors do. Travel advisors are the luxury. You do not have to sell 5-star to be the luxury. You are rolling out the red carpet for your clients. And now we're just really excited because Travefy allows so much more. It's so much more robust. It's really tailored to the industry as a whole. And we shared last week via email that we were rolling out this adaptation of our client communication templates. And as Rob had mentioned, they've had like very different names. They've been elevated experience workflow. They've been client experience workflow, I think, at one point, but we wanted a really simplistic name that just articulated what it was. And it is client communication templates. It's everything you need to communicate to your clients to have a thorough, clear, and consistent experience for every client that comes through your door. And no longer do you have to be reactive to emails. You can actually get really in front of communication and questions for your clients so they feel guided through the entire client process. So I'm actually going to show you what we mean by this, because all of this is really nice to talk about conceptually, but the reality is, what does it look like? What can Travefy do to complement these templates? And so I'm going to show you. So I'll be honest, what we knew as Travefy was the itinerary creator alone. We were living in this trips tab. And now you can build out your library with so many more items than just restaurants, city guides, etc. And now there's a much larger breadth of functionality. So I'm gonna give you this little preview, but I want to talk about what our templates are, and then I'm going to toggle back to Travefy just so you can kind of like follow the flow and what this looks like. So first up, obviously, it's our birthday. We're having a birthday sale, code birthday to get 15% off. And on our shop, we have our templates. Right now, we have focused our energy on this standard FIT client communication template for Travefy. We want to make sure that everyone gets really familiar with the functionality in Travefy before we go rogue and we add all of these other niches, and it can really clog your library if you don't know how to sort it and things like that. So honestly, our standard FIT client communication templates are the foundation of all of our workflows. And this is what we build everything off of. So you can tailor this standard FIT client communication template to any niche if you invest the time. So if you click buy templates, it's going to ask you to pick your platform. You can see here that we have Travefy, and it's going to toggle you to the Travefy standard FIT client communication templates, and there's the sale. I want to share here that this add-on right here is the pivotal piece. This is $67. This is the only time you get it for $67. It's the access to all of the library so that you do not have to copy and paste everything that I'm about to show you into your system. So honestly, just like budget and account for that, because that's going to save you hours and hours and hours of time, and it's going to save you a lot of formatting. So what do you actually get when you get the client communication templates? Let's talk about that, because that's where people are like, what are these templates? I'm just emailing my clients. Robin and I didn't even know that we were supposed to send booking confirmation. Well, we sent booking confirmations, but we didn't even know what a wrap-up document was. We didn't know what a client experience was. We were just essentially handling travel as if we were the travelers booking it ourselves. We're like, here's your confirmation. All right, have a great trip in a few months. And that was kind of the end of our client experience. We learned over time a lot of really hard lessons. We learned to add protective language, to get signature lines, to get terms and conditions signed off before you deposit anything, to get proper credit card authorizations, to educate your clients on what's coming next so they're not being so reactive. And that's everything you get. All of the really expensive and the really hard lessons and stressful lessons we learned, you get to buy it in one lump sum. So it starts with a getting started guide, and this is the foundational component because it includes your task lists. And so all of these initial pages are telling you how to build this out in your system, but then it goes into the task list, and this is the driving force behind your workflow. So whether you're new and you don't even know what we're talking about when we say a workflow, this is going to outline everything you need to know to create that client experience. It's going to walk you through every step that you need to do to ensure that your clients are well taken care of. And if you are seasoned, it's really easy to forget minor details because you get into that robotic transactional space. So this is just some checks and balances to remind you of everything you need to do as you're guiding your client through the experience. So we have the lead task list, and then second, we have the booked trip task list. And the book trip task list is where we leverage the functionality in Travefy for automations. And that's really exciting because now you can apply those automations and time those things to go out to your clients so that you're not having to live and breathe around your computer all the time. All right, so I'm going to toggle back to here. That's just a sneak preview of the task list. When we talk about our canned email templates in Travefy, these are referred to as messages. However, there are going to be some messages that you can use in Travefy and some that you might want to use on an external email platform. It's really important to know that anything that's sent as a form, which is the majority of our messages, is going to be sent in Travefy, and anything that's sent without a form can be sent in your email platform. So even if you don't use everything in Travefy, you still have everything here that you'd need to know. Again, these initial pages are talking through how to utilize these, and we've got an index here. We have some supplemental documents. You can see this is very robust. We have
so many.
44 messages.
I think our initial client experience literally started out with like 10 emails, like from the point of somebody reaching out to us and being like, hey, Robin and Jen, will you book a trip, to like, welcome home, you just got back. And now it's so funny to look at like the forms, the emails we've created, because like each one you can almost like think back to a specific client where you're like, ooh, yeah, we got burned. Like that's why we need your, detailed signed form a million times.
Absolutely. You can see here we have like 3 travel insurance touch points. That's why we have them. We have a bad review response because, let's be honest, negative feedback is going to happen. We actually just released a podcast on that today. We have appreciation for positive review, upcoming out of office, birthday, anniversary. So this is not to say you need 44 emails that go out to every client during every trip. This is like every circumstance that would come up. So you are not having to reinvent the wheel every time. You don't have to search in your sent inbox, copy and paste that, and then have something that you forgot to delete out and it's erroneous to your client. So this is a really robust workflow. We know that you don't have to use everything. I mean, you can use what works for you. So don't get overwhelmed just because it's there. Lean on it. We do every workflow comes with a mock client walkthrough, so you can see exactly how to use this, when to use it, and what to change to adapt to your business. So you don't have to use everything, but everything is there for you. We have a Google document, so it's easy to copy and paste if you do go that route. So this will open and you create your own copy of a Google document, and then you paste it into your CRM. We also have header graphics. That's the functionality isn't there to embed a photo in Travefy right now, but we have that in case you're wanting to use those on your email platform. We also have some supplemental Canva documents. These are just bonus. It's a how we work guide. You can embed this on your website as a lead generator and then have that on your contact form. We also have a what to do when guide, which you can actually add as an important document on the client trip in Travefy. And that's things like what happens if your flight's delayed, canceled, what if you lose your luggage. So these are supplemental things that you can add also on the trip in that important document section that are really going to complement your client experience. I'm going to scroll down just so you can see the format of these emails, and then I'm going to toggle over to the emails themselves. You can see here, anything in red, you're being prompted to change. So essentially, these will be in all caps because you don't have red font in Travefy, but you can see them in the Google document. And we've got all of these really informative, friendly emails. The tone is very friendly and familial. But you can change that tone, and we recommend you absolutely do change that tone should you have a more formal process. But anything here is prompting you and letting you know, fill in the blank. So these are templates. They are exactly that. We want you to change them to your business, but they are made to be fill in the blank so that you don't have to strain your brain, save those brain calories, and not have to reinvent the wheel every single time you send out an email. So as you can see here, they're very informational, and they all refer to buttons. So they're working with the functionality of Travefy. So that verbiage is tailored to that functionality. The forms template, I'll give you a preview here. There are 19 forms with the Travefy platform because there are things like signature lines, Calendly comes as a form. So again, playing off of the functionality in Travefy, our other general workflow is like 14 forms, I believe. But because of the functionality in Travefy and how things have to be sent as a form, we've beefed out these forms so that you can send more inside the platform. And so it's really easy to follow when you're creating those forms. You just click the field, and these are all the fields that align with the prompts in Travefy. And we have done this. We have implemented it into our system, so we know that everything does apply. And like I said, if you want to skip all the copy and paste and all of that, you can add on the share codes. And it is a document that looks like this. All you do is click here, and it imports that form into your system. It is so handy, so easy, and it just streams from our library right into yours so that you don't have to do that work. And for $67, I'm sorry, if you put any dollar amount on your time, that's worth it, hands down. So Stephanie or Robin, do you want to share anything additional that I didn't highlight before I show a little bit of the functionality?
I don't think so. It looks like I did see a couple questions come in if people already have purchased our templates. Do they need to purchase an add-on? For the library, yes, that's a supplemental fee. But if you go ahead and email us at hello@tiquehq.com, we can take care of that transition over for you guys.
Fabulous. And Robin, you may even want to snag it. I can, but there is the Travefy sharing, or I guess, no, we'll share the link for the actual purchase. If you have purchased and you want to add on that sharing library, we just need to validate that you've purchased the foundational workflow. You can only add that on just because it is, the full workflow in itself. So if you've already purchased the foundational workflow and you want that share library, just email us at that same email, hello@tiquehq.com. We'll send you the specific link for it's $87 when you purchase it outright, and it's not an add-on. So we're happy to share that, but it is definitely going to save you some time. So we're happy to address any of those questions about exchanges or anything like that.
Yeah, and I threw that email in the chat as well too, because it is so game-changing, like you said. I mean, the time that you will save, it's pretty impressive.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you a little bit of this, a little bit of the magic. So first of all, you can see the library in here. I have sorted it, so you want to make sure it's sorted. The labeling is really important to make sure that it sorts correctly. So you can see here, all of our forms are built in here, and then it transitions into messages. And then it's going to transition into task lists. So if you have a client that messages you on Facebook, on email, however they enter into your sphere, you're able to go into your library, share this. You can share a form link with clients. You can email the form to clients. I'm just going to email it to ourselves so that you can see this real quickly. And then you select the correct message for this. And it's probably going to take a little bit of a learning curve to make sure that you know what messages are in here, because it doesn't necessarily sort as you toggle. But this initial outreach email, this is what I'm going to send to a client who's wanting to complete my form. It has a link to a form. You can see here, I've got the all caps that I'm going to change my agency name, my brand statement. But for sake of efficiency, I am going to just leave it for now. So you can see here in our email, Jennifer Jacob has sent you a form, and it's got this nice email. It's formatted, and you can click into here to view that form. It auto-populates the information that you've sent that to. I'm just going to do some regular responses so that you can, let's do... My dates are flexible. What?
I said a month in Italy. I love that for you.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm going to do anniversary. It's not my honeymoon. Okay, so you can see here. And I am going to just click through here. I'm going to do 15,000 plus because I'm balling out. I'll do flights. I'm booking on points, travel components. I want all of it. I'm going to do luxury exclusive, and I'm just going to skip on down you want to be subscribed to your company newsletter. It's important that you know it doesn't sync over to your newsletter system, but you're going to be able to extrapolate that data and manually add them. And then we've got some protective verbiage here. So this is built into our form. So by signing and submitting the form, I understand and agree to the following. Our proposals come from suppliers who provide bundled rates. So that's the perfect intro. And then we have some additional protective language that says, please understand that while we're planning your trip, we will be primarily in contact via email and scheduled phone calls. So just setting those boundaries. And then lastly, please be aware that there may be a planning fee associated. So you're educating your clients with this form, and that's what our entire workflow really is about. Oh, goodness. Okay. See, notice I had a, I'll put my husband's name. I had a required response that I needed to submit. So I'm going to sign there. Success. We're going to go into, let's refresh here. Will it go into contacts? There we go. No.
Oh, into the form response?
Yes.
Yeah. So go in, contacts if you have that contact already, which that might be, is that the same contact, that first one? Oh, there we go.
There we go. Sorry about that. I don't know. I do not know what just happened.
I know. That happened to me earlier. I swear it's today. Technology.
Technology is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Technology is crazy.
I love that.
It's not showing up just yet. It's going to be a little bit
already. Charlie loving this.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
If you go under forms, does it appear in there? I think under that contact profile.
Okay.
Or if you click into the Jennifer Jacob contact and then go under forms.
Okay. I thought that was my other email. My apologies. So yes. So I responded 4 minutes ago. We can click view responses, as you can see here. And so everything is held in that client library. I already have some tasks in here, so I'm not going to duplicate that task list, but you can import the task list into the client profile. You could also import it into the trip itself. So you're going to be able to create that trip from that information, correct? I want to do, there we go. All right. So you can see this is a trip that already exists. I just want people to see, you can see this is where we did our mock client walkthrough. You can see all of these tasks that were checked off. So you can see this in real time. But I want to toggle back to our library just so you can see the rest of that. So obviously that's going to be what kicks off the trip. That's going to be what kicks off the relationship. You're going to get an email in your own email account letting you know that you've gotten a form response so that you know how to handle that. And all of the other emails that are in here. So the next form would be, you're going to respond back and say, great, your trip looks really interesting to me. Here's my calendar link to get on the calendar. So you're going to send that scheduler through Travefy. They're going to get on your calendar, which is going to sync with your whatever platform on your calendar you're utilizing. And then you're going to be able to work that client through the entire client experience. So I'm just going to go back to these messages right here and show you that schedule intake call follow-up. We have a recap of that. I'll toggle into this so you can just see it. It's a recap of the call in itself, and it gives you places to fill in the blanks just so you can get that confirmation from the client that you've understood everything they're looking for. You are going to send a payment or an invoice for the planning fee through Travefy, and that has to connect to your Stripe, and then it'll go right into your bank account so you can connect that planning fee through there. And then we have the planning fee confirmation. We have a foundational proposal template, and you're actually going to send that as a trip invite through Travefy. So once you send the proposal, they're able to then view all of those beautifully aesthetic things that you've put on that trip proposal on the trip itinerary creator. We've got a proposal follow-up. So we have built-in follow-ups in case that, they're not responding right away. That sometimes happens if you don't charge a planning fee. We've got an updated proposal template in case you are sending an updated proposal because they needed changes. Proposal confirmed, that goes with credit card authorization, booking confirmation, and this gives next steps of what to do. You can see all of this juicy information here on the right-hand side and what to expect from us. And you'll notice that there are not bullets, there are not hyperlinks. I actually really love this about Travefy. It keeps the messaging really simple. So there's not a ton of formatting to be concerned with, but if you do upgrade to that sharing library, all of this comes in formatted exactly as you see it on the right-hand side. And that's just the really convenient part. So 90-day touch point, which you can automate, upcoming wanderlust email, final balance reminder. So I want to pause because I feel like there's a lot happening in the chat and I want to make sure we're addressing those. So what can we tackle for everyone, Stephanie?
Yes. So, well, this is a very important one. Somebody asked, do I purchase through Travefy or TIQUE?
TIQUE, and we will reshare that link in there as well. We are a third-party vendor, so we are not Travefy, but we have, fortunately, luckily, with Scott and David and Stephanie, they've been so accommodating in letting us kind of beta test this with them and share the functionality and make sure we fully understand all the nuances of the system so that this adapted workflow is really in sync with their platform. I like to say we're not the car manufacturer, but we're the tinting. So we are tinting the car for you.
And it is so well tinted too. Let's just say it's so incredible. Because I was going to mention too. I mean, you walked through and showed all of it, but Jennifer walked me through this a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen such a thorough communication with the client." And you mentioned that, and it's so true that you're protecting yourself with all the verbiage, and that's what I think. I thought at first how awesome this is just for it to be done, and you don't have to worry about it. But then once you walk me through it, the biggest thing that stood out to me was just, again, really protecting yourself and you're not missing anything. It's not just oh, I need to check this box to make sure I do that. It's you're truly protecting yourself too, which is so incredible. So
it's
so cool.
true. And, we believe strongly, and I know Robin feels the same, we made such expensive mistakes. It's very easy to cost yourself $257 with a mistake. Let's just be honest. If you book the wrong room category, you book the wrong flight, and you don't have your clients put eyes on that and they don't catch it, or a date is wrong or something like that. There's just so much room for error. And that's what we really learned through being travel advisors, is there needed to be not only something that saved time, because people are trying to scale their business. Okay. You cannot get over that hump, that plateau, if you don't start employing automation. And we just firmly believe in that as a business ethos. But also, you are never going to get financially ahead if you're always fixing the mistakes. And when you're moving quickly to scale a business, mistakes happen. And when you add signature authorizations and people are signing off on their booking confirmation, it's just that additional confirmation to you, but it's also documentation. So if anyone ever does come to you, you can say, I'm sorry, but you signed this authorizing that everything here is correct, including how you spell your name, your birthday, etc. All of those things that people can try and put on us. This is that checks and balances system that has not always existed.
And it kind of flips the script in a way to make this a collaborative experience. I think a lot of people can get really run down and burnt out. We did in our travel business when everything felt transactional, where it's you do, I tell you what to do. This gives it a little bit more of that collaboration. You're checking trip details with us. You're held accountable to pieces of the puzzle, because again, it protects us, but it also gives you that this service is so valuable. You know what I mean? It just kind of, that collaboration, I think it's a really big to get you past just take my money, book my trip, whatever type of thing. So
you are the service, and you're a service provider, and you cannot create a referral worthy business if you're not creating the same client experience every time. I'm Why would you go to the restaurant that you don't know how they're going to make spaghetti tomorrow? No, you go back for that secret sauce. And having a good client experience is the secret sauce. And when you're able to systematize it, automate it, and templatize it, frankly, you're able to create that consistent client experience time and time again. And this is a one-time purchase that you can use until the end of time. Like this is not a membership, but I will say anytime we update something, we send it to everyone who has purchased it. That's what we've always stood behind. If we update something,
someone's asked.
you get
Yeah.
you get immediate access. So if we know of an update, we have always jumped in. Ashlyn is our guru. Unfortunately, she's sick today. Otherwise, she'd be here hyping us up too. But she worked as our client experience manager at Explorator. She used the workflow for our clients, and then she transposed all of that skill here. And she has become such a systems specialist. And so she really jumped in, learned Travefy. She knew Travefy from, working with it for so long. But this new functionality was new to her, but it's so intuitive. It's so easy to use. If you're using your email, if you're not using forms, like I really beg of you to try this. And I know it takes so much more unlearning to relearn something, and it takes time, it takes effort. But once you've done it, I resisted it. Robin can even say this. Like Robin is the brainchild behind all of the actual workflow itself.
Well, you can get stuck in your way as an entrepreneur. I think you just like kind of get in your funnel and you're like, it's working until it's not. And then you're like, oh my gosh, we did need that form because that client did do a chargeback. And now we're kind of up a creek without a paddle. So again, all of these have been mistakes that we don't want people to make. We made them for you. So
yeah.
I know.
We'll sacrifice ourselves for the good of the travel advising community because they were beefy most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, Robin made a really funny point, and it's funny, but it's not funny. It's like, is it too soon? She was like, you can almost look at every email and know there's a story behind it. And like I will just share in the wrap up documents, there's this kind of, let me find it. It's really funny. So it's booking confirmation, wrap up. Let me go to the email itself, the messages. So we've got this pre-travel documents email, which like everyone needs a great pre-travel documents email, but it says, please take time to review the provided documents. These documents hold itinerary details. And it also says the contact information has been uploaded into the info and docs section of your Travefy final itinerary. So just like holding you accountable for transposing that data. And then the next paragraph, I remember the exact client. It was, I have done my very best to try and create an incredible itinerary for your vacation. Please be aware that while I do provide the plans for your trip, you are responsible for handling any adjustments, cancellations of your bookings while in travel. I have provided the contact information within the itinerary should you need to communicate with any vendor. Your hotel concierge and accommodations may also prove to be a great resource for handling local communications. The cancellation policy is outlined in each reservation for your reference. Some items may not be refundable after a certain time period. I mean, like, could we just copy and paste that paragraph onto everything we ever send to a client? But I remember I was going through it. I was like, that wasn't just one client. I can specifically pinpoint 3 clients that created the contents of that paragraph. So if you are newer in your business, this is a great way of skipping a lot of the hard stuff. That's not to say you're not going to mess up, but this is a good foundational guide. And it's simply something we did not get from a host agency. And most host agencies are not providing this. They're providing the relationships, the affiliations. They are not providing you with a roadmap and a blueprint of how to do business. That is what this is.
So I can't believe that's so funny but not funny that everything has kind of a story behind. It's so true. Oh man, that's what I'm saying. Like when you walk me through, I mean, my mind was blown. It just kept getting bugs. I'm like, I never thought that you should probably do that, or say this language, things like that. One question though, I do want to ask really quick because I know there's a couple people that asked this is for specifically like FIT trips, but how about like Disney cruises? Like, can it be customized to that or?
Yes. So if you guys go onto the shop, you will see we have standard FIT, cruise, destination wedding, and Disney. So we were like trying to get Travefy out the door and purchasable for our sales. So we stuck to standard FIT because this was a build. We know Travefy really well, but all of these to build it out it's a lot. And we wanted to make sure we did it correctly. So now that we have people excited about them and we know y'all are excited and wanting those different niches, we will get back together with our team and get those on the calendar to get up on our shop. And we will have a Travefy version for the rest of the niches. Jen, I hope that's okay.
She's like, we just got committed now.
Yeah,
we doubled down. We'll try. We will
like,
do our best before Black Friday. We do a Black Friday as well. We will do our best to do that. They are so robust, y'all. That I just want to say, emotionally prepare for the cruise because it's beefy. I mean, Robin really, Ashlyn set the wheels in motion and did so much work to create these 17 cruise specific workflows. And then Robin just combed through them with a fine tooth comb. And Robin can talk about it. It was hours and hours and months.
I think it's close to like at the end of the day, it's over 100 different emails because our cruise, you'll see it, it's a steeper price point. The standard FIT and our Disney are both $257. Destination wedding, we have emails for both the guest and the couple traveling. So those are additional emails, additional forms. So that one's $337. And then the cruise is $397, which is like a premium price. But I'm not kidding you when I say I think there's over 120 emails because we took and created our whole workflow, but we tailored the booking confirmation, 90-day touch point, and wrap-up document email for 17 of the major cruise lines. And those are very thick, very thick, lots of information, very specific to each cruise line. So it's a premium price for that reason. I know that stinks, but it is, if you book cruises, I think you'll be pleased. We've gotten a lot of feedback on them, and like some of the most intense cruise planners came back and were like, dang, y'all did good. So it took some tweaking after our initial launch. We got a little feedback. We took that feedback to heart as always. We really ramped it up. And now I think our cruise is probably one of the ones I'm most proud of because we really poured so much time into it.
See, that's so awesome. See, just a testament to show this is so thorough. It's so legit. And also, I know you showed this too, but you can even automate this stuff too, which I think is just like such a game-changing thing, like too, that, you know, these forms can be like pushed out. So yeah, when you get it set up, and it might take a little bit of time to get it set up, but you're still saving so much time. But then also if you do purchase, because someone had asked, you know, how do we import this into Travefy? And if you do purchase the like share codes, just click a button, adds it in there, you have to customize a little, and then you're good.
And I love that you said you have to customize a little bit because some people are like, I think they buy it with the intention of it walks and talks and dances for you. There is some customization. So I think somebody in the comments did ask, once we update our like agency name and some basic contact information in the templates, we don't have to keep doing it. Yes, like you'll have to go in there where that red text is and enter, you know, information about your business. Obviously, everyone does stuff a little bit different. Mm-hmm. So if there are some tweaks to be made, it's easy. But I mean, this gets you, I'm not going to say to the finish line, but it gets you 90% of the race ran. And that's a really cool feeling because this took, again, years and years of experiences to kind of create. So to get, I mean, me and Jen would have purchased this in a heartbeat.
Yeah, are you like, dang it, I wish someone had this.
Oh, all the time. Yeah. All the time. We talk about it. We're like, if we started a business tomorrow, how different we would do everything. But it's exciting because I feel confident that like, if I were to do it again, it would be starting at this section, like buying something like this to really get me crystal clear on what my clients needed and when to protect me and make sure they have a great experience working with me.
Mm-hmm. And when we started, there really weren't industry resources on this side. There was tech, obviously, but there was not this robust like library or there wasn't a plethora of options for business resources. So we were really starting fresh with the concept. And like Robin said, the years that went into it, I'm gonna totally like sell myself out right now. I don't know if I would have purchased it because I didn't know what I didn't know. And now looking back, like I wish someone had said, like, there is an easier way of business. And so like that is, if you have a team, I always thought like, oh, I can figure it out myself. And like, now I'm like, gosh, the things you could skip by not figuring it out yourself, like the money you could save, the time you could save. So I think that like our own unknown, like we don't know what we don't know, sometimes gets in the way of our own scalability. So that's what I would say to you is like, if you think like, oh, I don't need this, I really think like sit on it and do some research and talk to colleagues that have a workflow, because everyone can use streamlining. Templatizing anything is always helpful. Like we even have our pushback scripts created as templates in our email platform. So just like saving yourself time and making sure you're not making errors, it's so worth it. Get out of your own way is like, that's what I wish I could have said to myself.
Get out of your own. See, and now you can say it to all of us, because
Yes.
it is. And I think that's, and like we've been saying too, there's a little bit of, you customize it and, you get it in there. But then when you start getting in that rhythm, you start like easy. So, so awesome.
Yeah.
And I know that I think there's some of the main, I know there's some other questions. I don't know if we'll have time to answer all of them, or if you guys would be able to go in, but I do, or go in and answer some of these. But one
Yeah.
thing I also love is Morgan said, just purchase, take my money. Like, shout out Morgan.
Shout out Morgan.
Shout
That's
out to
awesome.
Morgan. Got that Thrive Cart transaction notification as we're on here.
Yeah,
I
like,
did see a few questions. One said, is it Canadian applicable? We've had Canadian advisors purchase this because it doesn't touch on legal things. I think the only thing you would really need to change, and again, work with a lawyer, and like, we are not ever claiming to be legal counsel or a financial advisor. So we always recommend like making sure that you are doing things in line with how you feel protected and how your legal counsel recommends. But we do actually partner with someone to create terms and conditions if anyone needs that code. But we have not heard any negative feedback from Canadian advisors about it. They're just, I would say the main thing I know is largely different is the insurance piece of it. So you would just omit those sections, remove them out, and then not utilize those emails and handle that however you're typically handling that. So it's really not touching on too much legal language. It's protective language, but we're not going to claim that this is a contract by any means. We have questions obviously over and over again about if you've already purchased, what to do. Email us at hello@tiquehq.com. We will address your question specifically. If you've already purchased and you're just looking to have the add-on, we will be happy to send you the link to purchase that library sharing add-on. And then Disney bundle wasn't showing Travefy. That's because we only have the standard FIT right now, those niches. Robin has committed us to rolling out, and I love it. And we had someone, can you change the templates and save those once it's been imported into your library? And once it's imported into your library, yes, you can edit those and save those as your library. Correct, Stephanie?
Mhm.
Like
Correct. Yep.
the agency name, once you import it, you edit your agency name, it sticks. So you can make those tweaks within your library once you've brought everything in, and you're not having to edit as much, but you are going to edit it per client, obviously. But you have an opportunity to do that before sending, except for anything in automation. You're going to want to make sure that those automated emails have already been adjusted, and those are intentionally very general in language so that when they go out, they're not creating any, client specific language. So
It looks like we also have a lot of questions. People are excited about Cruise. I'm excited about Cruise. I think the whole team is going to get very excited about Cruise here shortly when I tell them that we're rolling it out. I can't give an answer on when it will be released. Definitely, I think our goal would be before Black Friday. We're having a birthday sale now. We'll have a Black Friday sale you guys are the first to know. How exciting.
That's so cool.
But we will have a Black Friday sale. However, if you are like, I have people traveling, these are amazing, I want to get my hands on them, and I want 15% off, what you can do right now is purchase the general cruise. And that is it's not specific for any CRM. It's exactly the same forms, the same emails. It's just not in the same messaging necessarily. Like Travefy uses messages. Travel Joy uses emails. There's just slight things that we change to each platform so it feels seamless when you integrate, but all of the information is the exact same. So my recommendation is, if you want to get a jump start, you want that verbiage, you want those forms, you can, with this birthday code, purchase the general for now. And then once they are released, we email us and say like, hey, I purchased general during your birthday sale because I needed them. And I'm interested in, swapping for a Travefy. We don't love to do a ton of swaps, but if that is something people need, we're not going to say, no, you have to buy it again. So that would be my insider workaround if I were you and you were looking to capitalize on this discount and could not actually wait until Black Friday.
And as a note, we do swaps for a very limited time when we roll something out. It's not an ongoing offer. So usually it's 2 months from that like new product. So if you are watching this, and we do require that you have proof of an active Travefy subscription in order to do that swap, just so we're being really cognizant that people that are getting another version obviously do have an active subscription. It is a proprietary product. I should share this. Every purchase is a single license. So it's not a team license. It is a single license. So that is how, obviously, we do protect ourselves that way. This is a business. We have a team, as we mentioned. We update everything. So it is a very labor heavy business to create these, to maintain them. Also, we get a lot of inquiries about how to use things, and we handle every inquiry one-on-one. We send a Loom video, we address the questions. So like, we are here to make sure that you are getting what you paid. Like, we are not here to say, I know I made a comment that $257 for one time is a low ticket, but sometimes that feels really big in your season of business, and $257 is still a lot of money in life. So we really respect that people are investing in our products, and we want to make sure that you're getting the most out of it. And they're not just, we call it the digital graveyard. They're not collecting dust in the digital graveyard. They're actually getting use.
That's so smart. The digital graveyard, like that.
I mean,
such a good one. And someone did just ask too, so I'll make sure to clarify this too, that Heather asked, we're paying for Travefy and then we want to pay for this. So we are separate. So yeah, your Travefy you pay for, and TIQUE is a third party provider where you can purchase through them, and then it just like works together. It's the beautiful world of collaboration and community in the travel industry coming together. That's what I like to think. That's really
I remember like back in 2016, probably, like, Stephanie, I knew your name just because it would like pop up in the corner of Travefy every time I logged in. And it was like, Stephanie Grice says, like, and it's like, hey, here's an update. And I'm just like, I feel like I've been collaborating with you for a very long time, Stephanie.
I know, it's so cool. And that's why, again, we're so pumped about this because, we found a way to make this work, with the automations, because we just released a lot of this stuff the past few years, and it's really been just getting added and enhanced even further. And so it's so cool to, like, here we are. I mean, how amazing. It's so cool. And I just got to put this up on the screen because this is the collab I've been waiting for. Same, Sarah. I know. It's so great. So this is really cool. And I know too, let us know if there's questions on Travefy, you know where to find us, send us an email, but then also the email, hello@tiquehq.com. But I know also, if you go on, I'll just share the screen here, is if you come on to TIQUE website, and just go get this, because where would they have to go to get it, to access it?
So when you go to our website, you're going to see this enthusiastic banner at the top, just reminding you in case you don't know. You can click right into shop the sale. Got some fun confetti.
Love
Robins
that.
are
Robin, I'm so extra on
So
stuff
cool.
like this.
Then you're going to go to the client communication templates. You can see this standard FIT right here. You're going to get to read about it, the inclusions, the details, click buy now, and it will ask you to pick your platform. You want to make sure you pick Travefy. So the reason they're specific is because every different version has different instructions that are really tailored to the platform. So make sure you're picking that Travefy. It will redirect you. You can see that this discount code has already been applied. So it already has the sale promotion code. And then if you want this Travefy library, you need to make sure you toggle this on to add that to your purchase and then complete your order. And within 5 minutes, all of it will land in your inbox. So make sure that you are just double checking that you've added those share code libraries, because it's going to make a world of difference in your experience.
And it's automatic. You are off to the races.
You're off to the races.
Just so cool. So amazing. And I just have to say thank you again for both taking the time to come on here, walking us through and getting, seriously, it's only the beginning, because now we have committed again the cruise. Now we got,
We're committed.
To do back to the drawing board.
Back to the grind. It's so cool. But again, if there are questions, let us know. You can reach out to us if it's Travefy related, or Tique as well. And our support team, we'll have we are going to get an FAQ up, so we'll have that soon. So that way, if you do have Tique and you're like, where do I go? And then we can try to put you in the right direction for things. So we'll try to help you out there on our end as well.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you to the entire team for being willing. I mean, you jumped on every phone call within like hours of us asking. You did share screen. You were so generous with just letting us know how to leverage this automation so that people can really get the most out of their subscription with you. And we're just so grateful for the entire team at Travefy. So thank you.
Oh, same. And it's really just because we know how valuable this will be to users that, we're like, oh my gosh, yeah, like let's show you the best way that you would do that. You would set that up. So it was really fun collaborating. And again, what you have made is so incredible. So really cool. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. And thanks again for joining us on this fun Facebook Live. See ya.
Bye.